Meta. It's a status every Nikke seeks. Some struggle their entire lives and never reach it. Some obtain the coveted status only to be replaced and discarded. And some are Isabel. But how does one become Meta? The Royal Hour investigative team will suck out the answer.
It's sus out, my king.
Oh, yes, of course it is. Kilo, can you use Talos to edit that out?
No.
Well, darn. Wells, just hurry up and play the video.
I'm Chime.
I'm Marion.
I'm Kilo.
I'm Wells.
I'm Trony.
I'm Crown. That story tonight on The Royal Hour. As one whose royal blood and stunning regal beauty naturally landed her at the top of the meta, I began by interviewing myself. So, Crown, what is the secret to being meta? I unsuccessfully tried talking to my reflection for 3 hours, but she was being very tight-lipped. So I instead sought out help from my dear citizens of the kingdom, starting with the very first meta DPS, Scarlet.
I was there in the beginning. While you were re-rolling your account, I studied the blade. While you drew lewd fan art of Rapunzel,
Snow White, actually.
I studied the blade. While you paid $60 for gotcha skins.
You studied the blade?
Actually, no, I drank during that time. No sober person would buy those things.
Is alcoholism the key to becoming meta?
Were it so, then how dost thou explain mine sober self's placement above this current inebriated form?
If not alcoholism, then perhaps it was something else. I directed my attention to a former companion of Scarlet, who nearly topped the meta, but failed to replace the Burst 1 queen.
I'm a totally fine Burst 1. In fact, I'm one of the best. Just because I didn't live up to the hype and replace that grandma cosplaying a lolly doesn't make me bad.
First alcoholism, now delusion. I was starting to put together a theory of what meta NIKKE'S had in common. But to confirm my theory, I needed to find the one who dethroned Scarlet as the top DPS of the meta. What makes a Nikke meta? How can one achieve a spot in triple S tier?
Country music.
That's it. Mental illness. That must be the key. I shared my findings with my fellow meta tier mates, but they weren't as receptive as I had hoped.
I am not mentally ill. Tell them, Pine. See, Pine agrees.
Country music.
What's this nonsense? Mental illness? It is you who are mad with such a suggestion. There are plenty of sane meta units like, well, she's... No, not her. That's literal brain damage. OCD. I'm not sure there's even a word for that one.
While my investigation had successfully deduced how one becomes meta, I still wanted to know what happens to those who fall from the meta. For that I journeyed into the deepest, darkest recesses of Nikke history and lore, to the most forgotten meta unit of all.
It's been 84 years.
Actually, it's been like 2.
84 years. And I can still smell the fresh pre-registration gems. The Pixiv tags had never been used. The 160 wall had never been hit. Nikke was called the Gotcha of Coomers. And it was. It really was.
Nikke, Goddess of Victory, is the game for Coomers you keep seeing ads about.
Welcome to Nikke, that one gotcha game that might make you think twice about taking out your phone in public.
This game is what happens when you copy the homework of Girls Frontline, and then somehow make it hornier.
I swear I'm playing for the story.
She's looking crazy, y'all.
Oh boy. Now the first thing that you want to do when you play Nikke is jump!
I know a lot of individuals only think of the specific assets of characters when they look at this game.
This is a fan service game that will also make you cry.
Nikke is one of, if not the most gripping gacha stories to date.
The music is actually insanely good.
Drum and bassy, dubsteppy.
I was vibing out and rocking out. I could have listened to this forever.
This game, for seemingly degenerates, is able to compete toe-to-toe with the highest grossing gacha games on the market.
28 million, dude. They are cooking.
Regardless of how you came across Nikke, whether it be the humongous assets or the amazing story and music, once you're a commander, you're always a commander.
Nikke spoke to me in a way that's hard to describe, and while I don't have the words to explain why this game stuck with me, I hope through whatever you found here, you find something that sticks with you.
I came looking for Booba. and I found gold.
Yes, it's been quite a ride. The best.
Who are you again? Where am I? What were we doing?
Damn it, Soldier OW. Crown's brain only has a 30-second attention span. That excellently edited commercial you made exceeded her capacity, and now she's lost.
You were about to explain how Soldier OW used to be meta. My king?
Oh right, meta. That's what this video was about. As I was saying, while it's hard to believe, there was a very brief period where Soldier OW was actually the single best support unit for Scarlet in the entire game. Her skill too had a nearly 130% bonus reload speed, giving Scarlet basically infinite ammo. Which is ironic, considering Scarlet doesn't actually carry any ammo. You know, because of the whole sword thing. What was it like, being a mass-produced Nikke on the most powerful meta team at the time?
It was incredible. I was on top of the world. It felt like, have you ever done mushrooms?
All the time. It's a serious issue. Back to your story, though. You were unceremoniously nerfed. That must have hurt.
It wasn't really a surprise. ShiftUp made all kinds of interesting decisions back in the day that they'd later retcon, keeping the commander gender neutral in dialogue, trying to let the player name their squad, forgetting to record like half of Lappy's lines. Oh, do you remember when the game's name was The Goddess of Victory, and then they dropped the from the title? I figured giving a mass-produced Nikke the most broken skill in the game was just another one of those signs the game had been rushed out the door, so I just enjoyed it while it lasted. And I made some good friends.
I actually just befriended her to mock Dorothy.
How does that mock Dorothy?
Because my mass-produced companion is still alive.
And so, we now know a spot in the meta is one baseball bat to the head away for any Nikke brave enough to roll the dice. Chime, fetch me my royal beating stick. I'm going to make Wells meta and get my own mass-produced Nikke best friend.
Marion already grabbed it and is chasing after Kilo and Trony to help them.
Oh, my citizens are so charitable. Ahem. Reporting for the Royal Hour. I'm your beloved king, Crown.
Next time on The Royal Hour, we talk to those infected with the highly contagious Dorovirus and look into possible treatments.
There is a realm of existence so far beyond your own, you cannot even imagine it. I am beyond your comprehension. I am Doro.
Aw, who's a cute little eldritch abomination? You are. Yes, you are.
Doro. Doro, Doro. Doro, Doro,